but it's like filling up that space, but it isn't any more of like the rumble or kick. It's like,
Okay.
but it is fuller. Like, because I like the way this sounds right now, but
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, I'd highly recommend using texture loops and real world recordings. I was making a track the other day and I was like, oh, it's missing something, don't know what it is, and ended up doing a full loop. Like I had my drums and everything, and then I basically did the whole drum pattern again, but in Foley. And that gave a nice kind of feel to it. But then I added another sample of like a city recording, distorted it, sidechained it, and then added in, I found a sample of beluga whales. And there was something
Hmm.
about that, then all those textures and atmospheres that made the track sound so much fuller in general. So yeah, I do you have access to any field recordings at all? Like something like this. Like I think I just took this on my phone. It's really good for making textured loops, stuff like this. Okay, so I'd maybe grab a small amount. And this can often live in, like, this is going to be crazy now with the amount of saturation we've got on the group. But this can often be good, maybe even just your drums or like your core kind of backbone group. Um, I'll try and expand on that a bit more another time. Yeah, this is going to sound crazy to start with. Just going to turn this down on my speakers. Okay, and then simply EQ and sidechain. So what I talked about earlier with like using atmospheres, I like to do like long drawn out ones. It's almost subliminal. So like I'd maybe have like a big long sample just playing away there, but obviously that poses its own potential mix issues with the amount of variation in sound. But just doing this alone can give a really nice effect and add groove to the track.
Hmm. And that's kind of like, I mean, to kind of not even jump ahead, but a lot of these like Schranz tracks that I listen to, it's like I hear like rhythms and I often question, I'm like, was that an intentional, like kind of transient, like weird background rhythm, or is that just happenstance from like experimenting with like stuff like this? Because it sounds like this is where that's headed. And you can almost build like, yeah, like almost like a subconscious kind of rhythm, but
Right.
like, is that sort of a process sometimes of like I guess what I'm asking is that always an intentional thing that some of these songs are doing, or is it kind of like this where you just throw stuff down and it's like, oh, I like the way that's kind of looping, like, and that's how that comes to be.
So, as always, like a bit of both, but certainly I like to push the boundaries in that way by like, yeah, grabbing a sample and just pushing it like crazy. And to the point where I've done that so much is that I'm kind of often looking for happy accidents. Like a lot of the work that I do is very structured, mixing to, dB levels and all that kind of stuff. But I produce quite a lot on myself and so I use my chop and chain device a lot for this, but I'm sure you're aware of the warp modes and beats and
Yeah.
using the sustain, but you can actually do just 16ths. So we can make this audio stutter into 16th notes just on the panel here. So I'd grab a sound like, so this is just wind noise basically.
Mm.
So yeah. I don't actually think I want that bit. That's like when the wind's heavy and the mic picks up some mid frequencies that I'm not necessarily keen on. I want the mids and highs. So I might do this and then go a bit crazy with echo and to add more rhythmical movement, maybe an auto filter. Set to time, not time, synced. So the transient set to 16ths on the sample.
Hmm.
Already that's sounding pretty interesting. So I could like drag it out and have it. Oh wait, no, that is now loop. So let's make that loop. And then let's slow down. And then of course sidechained from the kick. So yeah, these are the kind of things that I think kind of set these productions apart instead of just using loops alone. And I will leave you with the classic Schranz texture trick. So I'm going to grab a ride, pitch down 12, and then reversed. And then if you haven't got this already, go and get it from the site. Really handy auto 16th chopper and sidechain in one. And you can do like different timings as well. So that goes against the kick. I'd maybe back this up with an actual sidechain compressor from the kick as well, just to make sure it's really out of the way.
Actually, like, I definitely see like audibly adding all the like the field recording stuff you did there with
Yeah.
like the 16th and stuff like that is really getting at what I was saying about the mids there. I had no idea what to like choose as a sample, but just like fucking around and doing
Yeah.
that is like, oh yeah, that's creating a whole new like groove and feel, but like
Yeah.
it's not an actual like synth or like an element that you're supposed to hear. Like,
Yeah, so it's almost subliminal in the mix. So I'd maybe
yeah,
drop them a little bit, and then those sounds interact really well with all your Schranz loops. They start melding together, kind of thing. Just another thing to point out is that I've ended up doing the kick, the bass, and then the Atmos, and then this within, all that saturation. So if we just quickly listen to these outside of that saturation group. That's what gives it that Schranzy crunch.
yeah.
I think there's still too much like this. Yeah, this would need work, but I would say it's closer to the reference.
Yeah, definitely. I need to
Yeah.
implement this. It's not perfect by any means, but even seeing the thought process for that is like, I didn't